I would rather have my guys safe than even have them catching fish. I'm constantly looking at the satellite images. I'm constantly on the weather. You know, we follow out in a single file line. We keep distance between the snowmobiles. Like today we had some tag-alongs come out with us, and we do have cracks and shoves. And you know, you gotta have cracks and shoves to have safe ice. That hydraulic pressure's gotta go somewhere. But you know, we walk up to them, spud them open, see what's in there. If there's a bottom or not, we'll move to a different spot. On the west side last week, some of the guys have ramps, but we have prevailing west wind here. We usually don't get the open cracks, we get shoves. But yeah, I take safety pretty serious, probably the number one. I'd rather have everybody safe than even catch a fish. Saginaw Bay is extremely dangerous. Every day you don't know what you're in for. Every day the wind switches, that ice moves. Even if it just cracks it apart a little bit, when it goes back together, it doesn't fit like a puzzle piece. It'll rotate, it'll leave a hole out there. Very dangerous place to be on. You really gotta use a lot of common sense and a lot of precautions. If it doesn't look right, it ain't right.
You know, when you talk to a lot of the old school guys that have been fishing out on Saginaw Bay, what they're gonna tell you is bang the bottom. And basically what that's doing is that's what I did right there. I banged the bottom. Now I got this fish coming up. He's coming up. I wanna keep working him up. The higher you get that fish, the better. So I'm gonna keep working him up. Oh, he just stopped. Keep it right in front of him. And get him to bite. You wanna keep working that fish up in the water column. The further that fish comes up, the better chance you have of that fish actually biting. But when you bang the bottom, what you're doing is you're actually kicking the sediment up. And that's what these fish are keen on. You see that sediment kick up, they're gonna come in and investigate. So now he's going back down, he's going down quick. And I'm gonna follow him right down really quick. I'm being fairly aggressive here. I wanna stay right on that fish. He's right back down on the bottom, and so I'm gonna go back down to what they call pounding bottom. And I'm gonna keep that right down there and see if I can't get him to come up. Now he went a long ways, but he didn't bite. But here he is coming up again. Sometimes what you'll find is if you just can't get him to bite, but I got him to bite just like that. Now that is really cool. That shows right there how I got that fish to bite, because he did not just come in and smack it. You had to make that fish work for it. But we were able to work him up. Let's see here. There we go. That is so cool. You know, one of the things about ice fishing for walleyes is you're gonna find is some days anybody's a hero. You can go out on the ice, drill your hole, and you're gonna catch those fish because they're gonna come up really aggressively. But more days than not, you have to work those fish. And if you work those fish, just like I worked this one, you're gonna get them to bite even when they're lethargic.
It's on this one. Same fish. He never went off the screen. This time I'm gonna give him a little bit, I'm gonna horse him a little bit to keep him on. Definitely spunky. You let me know when you see color. Oh, this is a good eater, but he is spunky. Nice. Took that lead head. Now that's how I like him. He was very aggressive. He came after this jig head, and I knew by the feel of it there wasn't even a minnow on it. He just ate that jig head. After he got off twice and went after the spoon, I jiggled that lead head, and he went right after it. No minnow.
Brandon runs a guide service on both hard water and soft. During the winter, it's long hours of running guys in and out on the shifting ice of Saginaw Bay. It's an unforgiving place and is quick to bite you if you take her for granted. But when done right, the fishing is as good as anywhere. Typical trips this year have seen limits of walleye with a few jumbo perch thrown in for good measure. Jake Romanack was set up a stone's throw away to spread out and try to cover a bit more water.
Feel like a good one?
It's got some shoulders to it.
Looked like a good mark on the screen there.
Woo.
What do you got on there, Brandon?
It's a walleye, man. We're in the walleye grounds.
Staying down nice.
I'm gonna give her a little drag. I don't want her to snap at the last second. She's coming up to the hole. Oh, no, she's not.
Not going, huh? Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, there it is, Brandon. That's a nice fish. That is a beautiful fish.
See leader. Oh, hold on. She's not done yet.
Oh, come on, baby. Line your head up there. Ooh. Come on. Come on. There she goes. There she comes.
Nice.
Let's pull this thing out of there, Brandon. Nice fish, buddy.
Oh, she's mad.
That's what Saginaw Bay is all about right there. Got your dead stick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got the dead stick?
Down there.
Got it all. Bunch of professionals over here. Beautiful fish. So you come up pretty good, or
It
what?
was suspended. He was suspended about 5 feet off the bottom.
I had one like that the other day come through that was just come up suspended like that. It's time to eat. It's not a nice fishing trip without some burgers. We got some pepper, got some Lowry's, got some cheese, got some burgers. Good to go.
I don't know why, but lunch on the ice tastes so much better. It could be the fact that we were catching walleye just as fast as we could get the bait down there. Brandon didn't even have time to finish his burger before another one came in.
I'm gonna double fist the hamburger and catch this fish. See, he's on there and he's pulling it. You can see, I'm gonna feed it a little bit to him, Gabe. See, he just dropped it. There, he's got it again. Set my hamburger down. I twisted my tip. Little guy. Oh, he's legal, I think. We got a 13-inch rule. We need to get a lot of them out of there because the majority of fish we catch right now are good eaters. There's a lot of big fish in our system, but these are the guys that are cleaning Saginaw right out of bait fish. And I know there's a lot of people don't like the 13-inch rule, but you got to look at them as like teenagers. You know, they just eat everything in the refrigerator. So we got to get rid of a lot of the juvenile fish to get the bait fish population to boom back out again. And actually, that's a perfect eater. That's probably a 15, 16-inch fish. That's what I like keeping, because I'm kind of fussy about my fish. I don't like that real thick meat, like it's in them great big old girls. I like potato chip size fillets where I can just keep popping them.
This year it seems like the midday bite has been better than ever, and today was no exception. Jake had continued to pick away at them all day long.
Oh, he's coming up quick. He's coming. That was a no-brainer. I didn't have to do much for that one. He just come flying up off the bottom, took a look at it, and about a second later, punk, there he was. Feels like a pretty good fish. Lined up there. Oh, there she comes. Here she comes. Come on. Get out of that hole. There we go. That's not a bad fish right there. Those are the ones you like too, because that fish just come rocketing up off the bottom. Gave it a little bit of a jig and boom, there he was. What a nice Saginaw Bay walleye.
There. Oh, he pinned it right out of the dirt. Came down and pinned it. You see how he flew down and... Let's see what we got here. Feels like a little better fish. Oh yeah, a little better than the... Uh-oh, I can't get his head in the hole here. Come on, buddy. That's a good fish. Looks like a 22, 23-inch fish. There. Come here, come here, come here. There we go. There's a better fish. This is about our average size fish. I mean, we've been picking up a little bit smaller fish today. But this is a 20, 21-inch fish. It's a good eater. We get fish all the way up to 9.5 pounds, 10 pounds. You want to hear something cool though? That fish on the screen just came all the way up to your lure, and now the end of your rod is pulling down. You get him?
Nope.
At the end of the day, Brandon and Jake had handled well over a limit of fish apiece. Fish just kept coming through the hole and getting released back to swim again. I'd like to say it was an exceptional day of fishing, but this is what the bay has been like for most of the ice season. A world-class walleye destination in our own backyard.
is a nice fish.